we have Rajesh, who's been he's been like an icon in the blockchain system in Scotland for the last several years, and he'll tell you a little bit more what he's doing. Rajesh.
Thank you, Nanik. My name is Rajesh, founder of TrackGenius. We are a technology company specializing in blockchain development. My background, I'm a programmer. I always love coding and I always try to do something new all the time. So today I'm going to talk about our platform Web3 Sandpage and how that helps you to transition your Web2 software, like your systems, to Web3 without having an expertise knowledge in the blockchain. So what is Web3? Like we all hearing Web3 since morning. Web 1 is the first generation of World Wide Web, which is read-only in the World Wide Web. So basically you can read the information like Yahoo, Amazon, and all way. And then social media came in the middle of 2000, and then that makes the World Wide Web like read and write. So you can upload your content. The users are uploading the content to the internet, and what happened is bigger companies like Microsoft, like Amazon or Google, Facebook, they all have your data. So they are actually making money from your data, and they have all your information, like ChatGPT, like also Bill kind of was saying this morning. So basically they own your data and they're making money from your data. So what Web3 is, you own your data. So it's a decentralized internet. So you read, write, and own your data. And also you have all the control of your data. So Web3 is a decentralized version of internet that gives the security and transparency. So this is the market size of Web3. We are actually in the very early stage at the moment, but it has a huge potential in moving forward. So these are some of the apps currently running on the Web2 system. The first one is a gaming app. So imagine you're playing on a game, and then you get a lot of points in the game. You maybe buy lots of skins in the game. So what happens is all these things you are gaining from that game sits in their database. You can't really take it, and you're playing different games. You can't take 1 point from one game and put it in another game because it's all sitting in separately. And the second one is a shopping app. This morning, we heard about Tesco's Club Card points. So Tesco implemented in a very early stage, but the Club Card point is really good idea. But what happens is it's sitting inside Tesco's database. So if you wanted to use that same loyalty point in another shop or another collaborating organization, you have to integrate the system. Then only we know that this is how much token they have, and we need to reduce that. So it's not easy. So the Tesco is a very established company, so forget about Tesco. But if you imagine you're building a a small app, a fitness app, for example. You're using the app now. You're walking maybe about 10,000 steps. You got some points, and then you have some. Now that app has some partnering shops. They says if you got 10,000 points, you get 10% discount or whatever. So you started using that app, and then you got 10,000, 20,000 points. And then the other company, the original company, decided to stop the app, they closed down the app. So basically, whatever points you gain, you lose it because it sits in that database of that system. Whereas if it is on a Web3 type of system, it's not sitting in their database. It will be sitting on a blockchain network, a public blockchain network. And you own that points because when you're logging into the system, you're logging using your credentials, your private key and public key, and you own that system. So that means that even if the original app is closed down, original software or database is closed down, you don't lose points or anything because that sits in the blockchain network, and then you have access to that. And if any other application actually works with the same technology, you can retrieve that through that blockchain from there. Same in gaming again. If it is sitting on the blockchain network, if you are logging using the same credential on another the gaming app, you get those things there because it belongs to you, not belongs to that the app. The same the last one is healthcare. Your information of your health system. So in here in the UK, we have all your information sitting in the NHS database. So if you're I'm originally from India. I moved to Scotland about 20 years ago. So I don't have any access to my health data before I moved to UK. So if I'm moving from here to some other places, I don't get access to the UK healthcare system data. But because it's all sitting in that databases, whereas if it is on a decentralized Web3 type of system, I own my data and I can take my data wherever I go. So that gives you the freedom, gives you the ownership of your data. So that's the benefit with the Web3 system over the Web2 system. And again, so that gives you ownership, and there's no single point of failure, because even the database closes down, you don't lose your data because it's on the blockchain network. And there's no intermediate on it, it's completely transparent. So now, so this is like how the architecture works. Like the first one, so every software application, this is a very simple way of like explaining, okay? In reality, it's a bit more like a complicated. So a normal software application, you will have a front end, like a mobile app or like user interface. And when you're like inputting the data or like interacting through the user interface, that's in the message to the server side or backend. That's where all this business logic happening. And then the backend send the data, signal to the database. That's where all the information is stored. And then they retrieve the data from the database and show that to the users. That's the left side is the typical diagram of a web application works. And then imagine like these two are like two different games. Okay, so we are playing in the one, and then all your things are sitting in the one database. And again, like you come back and you play in the second one, and they're sitting in the second one. But you don't really get up, like you can't access the first one from the second one because you're using username and password. And that username and password is actually specifically for that app. Whereas on the right side, it's a hybrid app actually. We have the database, but at the same time, we store some data into the blockchain network. The another difference is rather than you're logging and using username and password, you're using your wallet or your private key and public key. You log into the system. And then when you get some points or whatever, like the server side, put that into a blockchain network using your credentials. So that belongs to you. So in that way, even if you get like some points in the first application, when you log in with the same credential for the second application, you can access that data because that is in the blockchain network belongs to your private key and public key, so you can easily access that. It's easy for cross-platform, like if you because you own the data, so it's easy for it's not really dependent on one system. This is we see the benefit of the Web3 system, but now the thing is that you're not really seeing much Web3 systems right now. So why is that? So there are two reasons. One, there's not much company have the technical capacity to build such a system. Because if you wanted to build a Web3 system, you need to know how the blockchain works. You need to write the smart contracts. You need to install the blockchain network, and they need to put the SDKs in the application. It's lots of technical things. So not many software companies have that technical capability. And the second thing is our users are not really familiar with this private key, public key type of infrastructure. They're familiar with the username and password. So what we are doing is we create a platform called Web3 Sandpit, which has 8 different use cases of blockchain. And then the way we create is, if a user wanted to upgrade their system from Web2 to Web3, we onboard them to the relevant platform, relevant application. So for example, if somebody wants to create a token, so we have a tokenization platform. So what happens is we give an API, so they can connect the API to their existing system. So in that way, what happens is when they logged into the system, when they create a new user, the new wallet creates behind the scenes. The user don't really see that there's wallets creating. And the user simply using username and password, but behind the scenes, we are using their wallet and then connecting to the, so when we create the tokens, it's actually assigned to that wallet. And then they can take that wallet and for other applications, they can use it. So we try to make that transition easier, like a Web2 system. So yeah, basically what happens is so you have a Web2 system, so we give you an API, and that API we put it in the backend. Most of the systems, you can put the API without having to change the code too much, because most of the web application will have an option to put API at the endpoint. And that API, our Web3 sandwich will verify the API and know that this is the right user, and then they find the whichever platform they're interested. If they want an NFT platform, so we create the right API for them, and then when they upload the image, we verify that this is the user, and then we check their the wallet address, and we mint the NFT for them, and then we upload that into an blockchain network, and if they wanted to put that into any of the existing blockchain, the NFT marketplaces, we call the APIs and we put it for them. So basically, the user don't really see any of these complex things. They just simply upload an image and it's there. So we try to reduce that complexity from the user. Yeah, so that's it. So basically, we're trying to reduce all this thing and make it the Web3 journey much easier and make it more mainstream. Thank you.